Hello class, it's Professor Streeter, and in this video I'm going to talk about the week 1 content module on D2L. So the week 1 assignments. The big goal for the week, just to start out, is to acquire the books and start reading the books, start thinking about the first reading assignments. To share a little bit about yourself on the online discussion and in class, to familiarize yourself with the syllabus and share a question about the syllabus in the online discussion, to get to know each other a little bit in the discussion forum, in class, to start becoming familiar with each other, and as I said in another video, to start getting comfortable with the D2L shell for this course. So those are the big goals. Getting comfortable with each other, with the book, sharing a little bit about yourself, and navigating your way through the D2L shell. I'm going to put myself in the bottom here and now look at the page together. Starting with the announcements, make sure to read the announcements for the first week and familiarize yourself with all of the information there in the announcements page. I update it regularly, so keep up with that. Then go to the content page, and we're gonna, let me use the student view here. Go to the content page and begin looking at the week 1 content module. As you can see, I've shared some videos with you here in the introduction to our class, the overview of our class, a navigating the D2L shell video, one video about the 2 books that I've ordered for the course, and another video laying out some of the weekly tasks and expectations and larger goals of the course. So I encourage you to watch those videos if you haven't done so already. And then we scroll down here to course preparation. That's really our focus for the week, preparing for the course. Starting with the syllabus. Read the syllabus carefully. There's a survey here to take about online learning, so I can know how comfortable you are or any kind of questions or concerns you have about online learning. Work your way through this shell. Kind of click around and make sure you can access everything that you need to access. I've shared some videos and a slideshow about the content of the first week of the semester. So you can start watching those videos on your own time and looking at the slideshow. The videos follow a slideshow. I will talk about some of this in class, but it's your responsibility to watch these videos on your own. And if you have questions about the slideshow or anything in the videos, you can raise that in class, raise that in the online discussion. Okay, so that's something you can do to start preparing for the course this week. And each week there will be videos to watch. The Class Cafe is the discussion forum where you can share questions that you have about the course with us and with me. This week I'd like you to read the syllabus and post a question about the syllabus. So you can do that by clicking the cafe link here. It takes you to the forum. I've given you an example of what to post, but you start a new thread, enter the subject line, fill in the text box, and then click submit. And then we can all look at your question and I can respond to it. Other students can respond to it. Okay, so that's just so I know you're familiar with the Class Cafe discussion forum and know how to use it. Coming back here. Okay, I'd like to get to know you this semester outside the classroom, one-on-one. So do schedule an office hour visit sometime in the first couple weeks of the semester. Find a time that works for you. You can click my Calendly link here and it takes you to my schedule. And so just find a slot that works for you. If you can't find a time, email me and we can set up another time, okay? Then make sure to get the books. As I said at the beginning of this video, that's the big piece for this week, that you acquire the books, begin reading them. There's 2. One is called The Fundamentals of Ethics. It's written by Schaefer Landau. And the other is an anthology of readings by other writers called The Ethical Life. And we'll be working with both books at the same time. So make sure to have both books early in the semester, bring them to class. Okay, so here is the assignment for the week, beginning with the reading. So start by looking at the introduction to the fundamentals of ethics, the first 19 pages. And the quiz for this week, which is a short reading comprehension quiz, just 5 questions, that's going to be based on what you got from that first 19 pages of the Fundamentals of Ethics, the introduction. So do a careful read, maybe go back and underline some important points and see how you do tracking the big ideas and the structure of the arguments that Schaefer-Landau is making. And the quiz is just giving you an opportunity to gauge how closely you're reading and what you're getting from the reading. Okay, so it's just 5 questions. You can find the quiz here. You click it. It's not available yet, but when it is available, it's a 30-minute quiz. You'll have 2 chances to complete it. And again, the quizzes are designed to gauge your comprehension of the reading. They're all multiple choice. So the first quiz is due at the end of the first week on Sunday. I will be assigning a short personal reflection for you to write about. That won't be due until next week, but wait and see on what that entails. But I'll have a question for you to reflect on about the nature of happiness. That's not going to be due until the following week, though. Okay, so if you scroll down here, you can see the link to the quiz. You can see the link to class introduction. So this is the other piece besides the quiz. I'd like you to introduce yourself in the discussion forum. So the second discussion forum is within the weekly feedback. So if we go back up here, just to remind you, there's the class cafe, which is not assessed for a grade. That's just where you share questions about the course. And then the weekly feedback, where you're sharing questions and comments and developing them in more detail about the readings. Okay, but the weekly feedback for week 1 is just an introduction of yourself. Okay, and so again, you can find that here at the in the week 1 content menu, class introductions, where you can scroll down. There's a link to it here. Just think about these questions about yourself. Okay, your name. Maybe you have a nickname. You can share that with me and the rest of the class. But think about what your name means to you, right? Do you identify with your name? What do you associate with your name? Think about that a little bit and share your thoughts. Where you're from, not just the name of the place, but what your origins mean to you, right? What home means to you, what it means to identify with home. How do you do that? I'd like to know a little bit about what you're doing here in this ethics class and how it relates to your course of your major and what you're studying outside of this class. So what do you want to learn about in this ethics class? How does it relate to your major or the program that you're pursuing here at Prairie State? Again, share as much as you can about that. What are your larger goals? What are your larger aspirations? Like, why are you here? What's your why? And then share a little bit about yourself, a story, a funny story, an interesting story that shows us something about who you are. Okay? So that's all something to include in the class introduction. Open up as much as you feel comfortable opening up. Okay? This is a way of getting to know each other. That is the week 1 writing assignment, to take the quiz by Sunday and to post an introduction of yourself in the discussion forum before the end of the week, so we all have a chance to see it and we can talk about it. Okay, and then finally, the readings for this week. In addition to the introduction, open up The Ethical Life. That's the second book. It's a collection of readings, and begin looking at the first major section of the book, The Good Life. And there's a few readings there, one by John Stuart Mill. Well, there's 2 readings there, one by John Stuart Mill and one by Robert Nozick. Mill is an 18th century British philosopher, and he's writing about an idea that he calls hedonism. And basically it's the idea that the good life that we're seeking, or the thing that we value the most in life, is happiness or pleasure. So everything we do from Mill's point of view is aimed at happiness. And everything valuable in our life depends on the value of happiness or pleasure. In some sense, pleasure is the highest good. Happiness is the highest good that we seek in life. And this is an important idea for Mill, and he's thinking through the implications of that idea. Nozick is a more contemporary philosopher. He used to work at New York University. He recently died, but he introduces a thought experiment called the experience machine that is testing Mill's idea. If pleasure is all that really matters to us, then it looks like maybe we should just plug into a virtual reality machine that gives us all the pleasure that we want. And Robert Nozick puts that thought experiment in our head to get us thinking about the value of pleasure or the value of happiness, right? How do we value it? Is it the only thing that we value for its own sake? Okay, so those are two readings that go together. And then the last piece is by a living philosopher named Kwame Anthony Appiah, and he writes a weekly column in the New York Times about ethics. And this is a very short piece. He's not really making an argument, but he's raising a question about the social issues, the ethical issues that face us today. Maybe issues that we neglect or we don't take seriously enough. And so he's, in order to identify the big ethical problems that we face today, he asks, if we project ourselves into the future, what will people think about us in the future, right? What will they hold us accountable for in the future? And this is his way of reflecting on the present problems that we face. I wanted you to read this early in the semester so that you could start thinking about an ethical or moral problem that you want to write about later on in the semester. Okay, so what are the big ethical issues that matter to you? Why do they matter to you? And that's a bit of reflection that I'd like you to begin doing early in the semester. And the Appiah piece is meant to provoke that thought for you, to provoke in your own mind thoughts about the ethical problems that you think are most important. Okay, so that's all for this video. I just wanted to say a couple things about the readings and show you what the other assignments are for week 1. Each week I'll try to make a short video introducing the assignments for the week. This one's a little longer just because we're just getting started. Okay, so that's all for now. I'm going to shut this down and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.